No, you are not seeing double. Well, I guess you kind of are. There is another white first generation Mustang in the shop. It is a 66. It's my brother's car. He brought it up here to work on it this fall. We're going to take a break over the winter and try to wrap it up in spring. It actually runs like a top. It's a nice little car. My son-in-law found it on Facebook Marketplace. I showed it to my brother and he liked it. So I helped negotiate the deal and he picked it up. So my car is a 65A code, which means it's a V8 car, 4-barrel. That's actually a 302, but it's supposed to be a 289. Kind of looks like a 289 though, doesn't it? So you go over to this car, and this is a straight 6 car. I don't know what they call those, D codes maybe? But here's some cool stuff about it. It has factory air conditioning and power steering, which is real nice. There's a lot of cleanup that needs to be done under here. Now look here. There's been some damage. Right here on the corner, you can see it in the radiator support. And you can also see it a little bit there on the inner fender well. And that wasn't straightened out quite right. It's creating some fitment issues that you might be able to see here. But it's nothing that we can't straighten out. So we'll be pulling the front clip off of here and trying to get all that straight and get everything back together right. The car was done in I think, the mid-90s, but it didn't have hardly any miles put on it. But there are some things that could be fitted on here right. Good parts, pretty good paint, just some dumb fitment issues. Fenders, hood, doors, stuff like that. But it does run like a top. Runs real nice. Air blows cold, steers nice, real cool car. My brother already has done a dual master conversion on it, and it does have disc brakes in the front now. The kit came with the car. It converts the 4-lug rims to 5-lug. Luckily, I had some 5-lug rims sitting around with some tires on them, so we put those on. It's the same tire size as the back of the car, so you really can't tell one's 4-lug and one's 5-lug. It looks right. Chrome is really nice on it. Even these wing windows here. I mean, look at this. Compared to what I have here. Not nearly as pretty. Like mine is old and original. This looks like really nice reproduction stuff. His interior is decent too. Nice seats. Dash, see the AC there? It's got I think it's an old Grant wheel. We got to do new door cards. And we got to paint these inner doors. But otherwise, looks pretty good. Also, we got to redo something with this package tray up here. My daughter did mine. We'll do this one and make it look real good. And this car even has a luggage rack. Isn't that cool? Here's what's crazy. We put springs on this car the other day. It came with leaf springs. One new leaf spring was on the car, one wasn't, which was really strange. So we bought a shackle and we put the other leaf spring on. It sits nice and even now. But check this out. If I come over here, I turn around, you can tell it sits much higher than my car, like 2.5 inches higher. Granted, the spring hasn't settled. Car doesn't have many miles on it after the other spring was probably put in. But I've got mid-eye drop on mine, which brings it down 1 inch from factory. And he's got brand new springs on, which probably bring it up 1 inch from factory until they settle in. So it's kind of cartoonishly high now, but hopefully that settles in. I don't know if you can tell by looking, but his car sits a little lower than my car in the front. So it's higher in the back and lower in the front. And when he puts his springs in there, it's going to bring it up probably to about where mine is, maybe a little higher. You can't get anything other than factory front springs for these i6 cars. Nothing I found anyway. If you want to lower it, you can cut the springs or whatever, but you don't want tire rub. We were getting tire rub with the worn out leaf spring in the back because it was sitting so uneven, but now that the other leaf spring's in, there's no tire rub. It's pretty good. The plan for this car is just to build a nice little driver. Nothing crazy. Leave the 6, leave the air, leave it all original. We just want to get it as straight as we can. Try to get those panels straight, all these lines straight up front. The bumper's jacked up underneath, so we're going to put a new bumper on the front, clean up that grill, and freshen up anything that needs to be freshened up. Under the hood, we're going to do a custom Monte Carlo bar. We couldn't find one for an i6 car, so we bought one thinking it might work. It does not, so we're going to modify that one to fit. Also have an export brace for it. Along with that, we'd like to do a 1-inch sway bar underneath. That's going to stiffen it up a lot. And I'm not sure what's up with the springs and the perches and all that, but that all should be done too. I've got a fresh set of perches on the shelf, but I kind of like the open tracker stuff. I might talk him into that, or we might just go factory, or try factory and see how we like him. And if not, we can go open tracker. Of course, new shocks. He's not going Coney. I think he's going to go Scott Drake on this, because he's got a couple other cars he needs to build, and he needs to kind of do this on a budget. But it's a pretty cool little car, and we're going to work on it, like I said. The remainder of fall, he's going to come up here in a couple weeks. We're going to get back on it until the snow falls. Then we'll stop until springtime and get back to work on it and wrap it up. And I think he's going to drive it home back to Indiana when he's done. So anyway, that's it. Another one. Give me something to do. So anyway, that's it. For the 7 of you who care, that's what we got going on. We'll see you next time.